Okay, for this third video, I'm going to do distance and midpoint. Okay, so I'll do 31 and 32, but I'm going to do 31 using the actual formula, and I'll do 32 using the shortcut that I showed you. Okay, so the distance formula is just the difference in the x's, so -7 minus -1 squared, plus the difference in the y's, so 3 minus 5. Okay, and now I just simplify all that in there. So -7 minus -1, so that's -7 plus 1 is -6 squared. 3 minus 5 is -2 squared. So that's 36 plus 4. So the distance is the square root of 40. It does say leave answers in simplest radical form and then round to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to do both. So I'm going to break down the square root of 40. Now, hopefully you're good with this, but I'm going to do it for those that are not. Two numbers that multiply to 40, I'll go 2 and 20. 2 is prime, so I'm done with that one. 20 is 5 and 4. 5's prime. 4 is 2 and 2. Now I'm looking for pairs. So I have a pair of 2's, so that makes a 2 on the outside. These two are unpaired. They go back underneath the radical, multiplied together. So 2 times 5 is 10. And there's 2 radical 10. Okay, now to get the nearest tenth, I'm just going to literally type in my answer in the calculator. Square root of 40 is 6.3. Those all mean the same thing. If you want to check to make sure you simplified correctly, watch this. 2 radical 10. If you get the same decimal, which you do, you did it correctly. Okay. Number 32. I told you I'm going to use a shortcut now. I'm going to go ahead and start with that there because it's easy to forget the radical. How far apart are 0 and -8? Well, they're 8 units apart. Plus, how far apart are -4 and 2? Well, -4 to 2 is 6 units. Okay. So 8 squared is 64. 6 squared is 36. That adds up to 100. The square root of 100 is exactly 10. That is simplest radical form. It's also rounded to the nearest tenth. There's no nearest tenth. It's exactly 10. Okay. (33) and 34 are midpoint. Okay, so midpoint is average. Think average. So all you're going to do is you're going to add the x's. So -2 plus -8 divided by 2, and then you're going to add the y's. 5 plus -3 divided by 2. And notice it's a point, so it's like coordinates. So I'm going to simplify. -2 plus -8 is -10 divided by 2. 5 plus -3 is 2 divided by 2. And now I'm just going to simplify all the way. That's -5, 1. Okay. Next one. It says leave answers as fractions if necessary. So I see that, and I know that I'm going to be adding these up. 6 plus 5 divided by 2, -1 plus -5 divided by 2. 6 plus 5 is 11 divided by 2. -1 plus -5 is -6 divided by 2. So 11 divided by 2 is just going to say 11 divided by 2, and that's going to be -3. There's my midpoint. Number 35, CD has a midpoint of -4, 5, so that's the middle. If the coordinates of D are 3, 2, what are the coordinates of C? So we're looking for coordinates of C, which are x and y. I'm going to use algebra here because I feel like this is the one that most people understand. Ignore that for right now. To find the midpoint, we add the x's, so x plus 3 divided by 2. Okay, and that's going to give me the midpoint, the middle of my x's. So x plus 3 divided by 2 is going to give you the middle. But I know the middle is -4. And that's where that -4 comes in. Now I can solve that by multiplying by 2. So I have x plus 3 equals -8. Subtract 3. I get the x coordinate is -11. Now I got to do the y coordinate. It's the same idea. Y plus 2 divided by 2 equals 5. times by 2. You get y plus 2 equals 10. Subtract 2, I get 8. If you want to check it to make sure you did it right, take your two endpoints, add them up, and divide by 2. So 3 plus negative 11 is negative 8. Divided by 2, negative 4. 2 plus 8 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5. There's my midpoint. Okay? So 36 through 38, we're going to use the coordinate plane to plot the rectangle PQRS. So P is at 4, 3. So 4, 3, that's P. Q is at negative 2, negative 1. R is at 0, negative 4. S is at 6, 0. I'll go ahead and connect the lines there, connect the dots, I mean. Okay? It says find the perimeter of PQRS. Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Look at all the space I gave you. Why would I need to do that? Well, I got to find the distance. So I have to find PS, and I have to find PQ. Now, why do I not have to find the other ones? Well, PS is equal to QR. Right? So once I find PS, I've found QR. And PQ is equal to RS because it's a rectangle. I told you it was a rectangle. And we know opposite sides are congruent. So we know that's equal to that, and we know that's equal to that. So PS, I'm not even going to use this. Actually, you know what? I am going to use this and show you how PS, I'm going to find the length of PS by using the Pythagorean theorem. Could you use the distance formula? Absolutely. But I just drew a right triangle right here. This is A, this is B, and this is C. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Well, A I can count. 1, 2. So A is 2. B squared is 1, 2, 3. And C is PS. Okay, so that's 4 plus 9 equals C squared, but I don't want C squared, I want C. So I got to take the square root of both sides. So it's the square root of 13 is PQ. Okay? Or sorry, not PQ, PS. Okay, so now I got to find PQ. I'm going to do the same idea. I'm going to make a right triangle. And I'm going to count. So A squared, so 1, 2, 3, 4. B squared, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 16 plus 36. But I want the square root of that. So it's going to be the square root of 52 equals C, or in this case, PQ. Okay? Now, I want it to the nearest tenth, so I'm going to go ahead and type square root of 13 in my calculator. And I get 3.6. So PS equals about 3.6. Square root of 52 is 7.2. So PQ is about 7.2. To find the perimeter, I need to add up all the sides. So PS plus PQ plus QR plus RS. So that's 3.6 plus 7.2. QR is the same as PS, so 3.6 plus 7.2. And then you add them all up, and you should get 21.6 is the perimeter. Okay. Find the midpoint of PR. Well, PR, there's no line drawn, but I could draw one. I'm just going to use the coordinates, though. So P and R, so I'm going to do 4 plus 0 divided by 2, and then 3 plus negative 4 divided by 2. So that's 4 over 2. 3 plus negative 4 is negative 1 over 2. So that's 2 and negative 1/2 is the midpoint. Okay, find the midpoint of QS. I'm going to do the same thing. Negative 2 plus 6. Negative 1 plus 0 divided by 2. So negative 2 plus 6 is 4 divided by 2. oops, that's not negative 10, sorry, negative 1 divided by 2. So 2 and negative 1/2. They have the same midpoint, which makes sense if you draw, they intersect, look where they intersect. 2 and about halfway down, okay? There's the midpoint of both. And that is the end of the third video.